Welcome back to a new episode. And today we're going to talk about a new way to create walking in God's flow. I know some of the people think that in business, it's not about God as much, but more about strategy. And today I want to share something that completely changed the way I see my life, my business, and even my faith. For so long, I thought success it was about hustle, sacrifice, and even control. From pushing, from proving myself, from showing people who I am, what I can do. But I have learned through this process in this way a new lens, which I can understand now how God actually moves in our lives. And for me, that big breakthrough came into my business, the way I was managing my business. That's not just the theory, because I lived through that process. That was the path that it was taken. And it was painful. Yes, it was painful because I went from hustling, from trying to control, from sacrifice, from doing more, from showing people this is who I am, see me, from striving to surrender. So that was a shock for me because I went from chaos to clarity, from self resilience to partnership. And that actually freaked me out. You would think that would be something good, that you went from chaos to clarity. But it actually, for me, because I was not familiar with those things, I actually felt like I was losing it all. I was mentally and physically in pain because I felt like I was losing control. For years, I loved the equation of the world. For years, I was trained on how to do business, the world business, how the world wants to do business. And the world teaches you that you have to have a lot of discipline, that you have to hustle, that you have to look for another strategy, that if you stop, then somebody else will take your place. And if you not continue to educate yourself, then somebody else will take what you have and reinvent it and make more money from your stuff. That was keeping me in the mindset of working over and over and over. And on the end of the day, I felt drained. I felt lost. I felt depressed. And I felt like, hey, you're a loser. Because looking at everyone else, they're able to keep up. Why can you not keep up? Why are you wanting a day of rest? Why do you feel like giving up? Why do you feel that you can take a break? And I was starving myself of taking rest. I was starving myself of be seen by me. And that starvation took me to a chronic health, which it was depression and anxiety. I will never forget when I stopped finally, it was because I cannot close my hands. My hands literally will stay like this. My husband gave me a cup of water, and when he let go, I wasn't able to close my hand. So um the cup of water fall off my hand, and I cannot close my hands. So I freaked out, and that's when I went to a doctor, and they did all the testings and all these other things, and the doctor said it's just your body is shutting down. My face was getting numb, one side of my face, and they did more testing, and they said you have chronic depression. And I remember that doctor talking with my husband and telling him, do not leave her alone. She cannot be alone because she can commit suicide. And when we came home, my husband told me, well, you need to take a break, you need to rest, you need to do this. And for me, when he said, you need to take a break, you need to rest, for me, it was like, you're cussing me out. You're asking me for something that I don't know how to do it. My mind is right now, this day that I took to go to the doctor, for me, it was a waste of time. For me, I need to get back in because if not, somebody else is going to take my position. So resting for me, it was actually painful. It was like, I have other things to do. I cannot be resting. I have to be doing something. And so I keep believing that I just need to work harder. That if I control every detail, if I sacrifice more, maybe then it will work. The reason why it's not working right now is because I have not sacrificed enough. And that's when the breakthrough came. Because when I began to rest, my body began to surface everything that I was suppressing down. My feelings, my emotions, the physical in my body of shaking, of feeling not enough. And when the words show up, how my body reacted, I began to experience anxiety a little bit more stronger and more often. And I thought resting is painful. I don't need to rest. I need to keep myself busy because then I will keep feeling more sick. But it was my body asking to be heard. It was my body asking to finally, I can show you what I'm feeling. And in that moment, I said, help me. I need help. And the doctor prescribed medication, which I did not take. I will share in another episode why I did not take those medications and the story behind it. But I began to ask my husband, how? How do you feel that you need to rest when there's so much stuff that it needs to be done? And my husband began to help me by saying, rest because you have everything. You can't continue to look for more. Because if you cannot enjoy what you already have, how do you think you're going to enjoy what you want if you're already neglecting your body? You're neglecting your rest. You're thinking that you have to keep going and keep doing more and more and more, but you're not taking in consideration what you already done. You're not enjoying what you already have. So how can you have more if you're not even thankful for what you have? And in my mind, I thought, I am being thankful. When I pray, I tell God, thank you for my house. Thank you for my kids. Thank you for this. Thank you for that. And I think a lot of us do that. We pray and we say we're thankful for those things. But one thing is saying it, another thing, allowing the body to feel it. Really saying, I'm thankful and I'm going to sit in it. I'm going to feel the thankfulness. But we're saying we're thankful. We pray, get up, and we run out the door because we're late, because we got to do this, because we got to do that. And we come home and we're constantly going on and on, 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 on. And are you really thankful? Or are you just rushing the thankfulness because you got to go? And you never really let your body feel it. And that's what I was doing. I was saying, thank you, God, for my family, but I never really sat back and have a dinner and where I can really feel my family, where my body can really stay and rest. I said, thank you for my house. But do I really enjoy my house, or I'm really out of my house most of the time working, but I'm not really thankful of my home because I'm not even in the home. I'm thankful for the food, but I'm not really even have time to prepare food. I don't even have the time to enjoy the things that God is giving me, that God is providing me. I'm just rushing through the day every day. And that's what it made my body collapse. And a lot of us out there, and you see it on social media, we trying to bury that pain. We trying to bury that pain for the way we look. We present ourselves with new clothes, new style, new things of new car, new home, new this, new that. Why? Because at the end of the day, what we're looking for is connection with our Creator. But because we never stop to really acknowledge what He's calling us to do, because that's something that I have learned that the Creator, the reason why He put that desire in you for more is because that desire is for more of Him. And by you getting more of Him, He's going to provide your needs as a human that you need. Because to be closer to Him, you have to have all your needs met. And by being closer to Him, you will have it. And so when we look at I want more, we thinking I want more money. No, we want more connection with our Creator. But instead of looking for our Creator, we go look for the money. So we look for more work, for more things to do, thinking that that's going to bring us pleasure, that it lasts longer. And it does bring pleasure for a moment. Because if we search for more, when we look for money, we say, oh, when we get the money, I will have a nicer home. I will go on vacation. I will have better clothes. I will buy a land, many things that we want. And then I will be happy. Then those things will come. And then now we bought the land. Okay, now I need to continue to work because now I need to build a home. Okay, now you have the home. Well, now I got to continue to work because now I need to fill that home with stuff. So it's a never ending thing. And when what really the Creator is calling us is to be in connection with Him. Because when you're in connection with Him, those things will be added. His word says that. Put God first, and all those things will be added. Why? Because when you put Him first, whether you have the home, the land, the clothing, the likes, the shares, the followers, whatever you're looking for, whether you have it or not, you're still okay. You're still in peace. You can rest. You can take that break. You can say, I can take this week off and I know God has got me. I know I'm surrounded. I know He's here. He's protecting me. He's gonna provide everything I need. Do I go to work? Yes. That does not mean you're gonna sit on your couch and do completely nothing. You're still gonna take action, but that action comes from alignment, no longer from the mindset of I don't have enough or I need to get more because I want this, because I want that. But now it comes from I get to do this because the Creator is showing me that this is the way. I get to work because God is showing me that this is a way of blessing for me. Because by doing this, I will get to bless others. You're no longer doing it because you need something for you. I'm doing this podcast right now. When I start doing this podcast, I didn't start doing it because of me. The past ones that you go back, yes, I did it because, hey, I want people to see how do I do my job. I'm going to teach them because I want them to see how it's done the right way. Now, this podcast, I'm not doing it because I want something from you. You know why I'm doing it? Because this is my process of healing. This is my process of saying yes to what the Creator asking me to do. I remember when he gave me this information of doing the podcast. I battled that. I battled that for a week. I told the creator, no, God, I'm not going to do a podcast because I am not ready. Why me? Why should I do that? I don't like that because what am I going to share? What about if I do it wrong? What about if I don't know what I should do? And I remember constantly coming into my meditation room and saying, God, don't ask me to do that, please. 'Cause I'm not ready. I'm not that person. I don't have the information. And I remember him bringing this to my heart: your journey, your process, your healing, your story, what I have done for you, what I did for you. Show it that I can do it for others. What you have, show it that you can share it and others can see that they can have that. And I said, no, I'm not ready for that. It's got to be another way, but not that. And it kept coming on and on and on and on until that day I wasn't able to get out of my house. That day I was in my feelings. I was felt convicted that I was not obeying God's word. And I said, okay, creator, I'm gonna do the podcast. People might judge me. People might say that I'm not doing the right thing. And I heard him say, don't worry about that. That's my job. Why do you always want to do your thing? You always want to control everything. Just do what I ask you to do. And that's how I start doing this. Doing this is for me a healing process because everything that I speak to you is something that I went through. But as I'm speaking, I'm releasing those chains again. And as I'm releasing, I'm also bringing more clarity into my life, into my heart, into my mission. And I'm feeling restored more and more and more. Because this is not about you. This is about me. This is about the creator, what the creator wants in me. And I realized that by doing this, you stop becoming the extra in the movie and you become the actor, the actress, the main character, because that's what God calls us to be, the character of our own movie, not the extras. But every time we allow somebody to tell us what to do, how to do it, and we obey that person, we are the extras. We are not the main character. But when God tells us to do something, even when we don't understand it, even when it's scary, even when we don't know how that is going to unfold, it's because God is calling us to a higher purpose. God is calling us for what our mission is, which is being the main character, being the workers for Him, not the ones who said, okay, I'm going to do this because people want me to be this way. I remember when I posted one of the videos on TikTok, the comment was because I was talking about how women who try to control look like. And one of the comments that I have is, you look sad. You look tired. And I look at that comment and I laugh once because I wasn't tired and I wasn't sad. But then underneath that comment, I saw another comment that it says, I thought I was the only one who saw that, and put emojis like laughing emojis. And I laugh because if those comments would have been made before my process of transformation, those comments would have hurt me. But now they don't hurt me because those people are talking about what they see. And what they see is because that's what they feel. Because we're just a mirror of another person. I'm a mirror for those people who comment that. I'm not what they said, but I'm the mirror that it reflects their pain. So they see sadness, they see tiredness because they're running away from that. So they're able to identify that right away. It's like right now I'm wearing a red jacket. For some people, they might say, "Oh, that looks red," because for them, that's how uh, red looks like. For other people, might say, "No, that doesn't look red. It looks more like light red." But that's their definition based upon what they're familiar with. Other people might say, "No, it kind of look orange." So it's based upon your experience, what you're living through, what you went through in life. So them seeing somebody with no makeup, seeing somebody who speak home, that's sad and tired. Why? Because their definition of not being sad mean being happy and full of energy, meaning somebody who's jumping around, somebody who constantly laughing, somebody who's just acting crazy. That's somebody full of energy, and that's somebody happy. But through my process, I have learned that's not always true. Sometimes the people that act the most of laughing, of joking around, of jumping around, dancing full of energy, that's the most tired people. That's the people who are actually in deep depression. That's the people that they're trying to put that mask of, I'm okay. I don't need help. I'm great. Didn't you see me? I'm so happy. I'm laughing. I'm giggling. I'm joking with people. Didn't you see how happy I am? But really, they're trying to hide their feelings. They're trying to suppress their emotions because they feel that if they said, I'm tired, I'm sad, people will judge them. And that's why when I saw those comments, I'm like, I feel bad for those women who comment that because in their mind, based upon their comment, they believe that sadness and being tired is a flaw. It's something that you shouldn't feel. It's something that should not be part of you. But I'm here to tell you, for you who's watching this, it's okay to feel sad. It's okay to feel tired. It's okay to feel angry. It's okay to feel those emotions. It's okay to feel that you want to give up because those feelings are showing you that you are a human, that you're not supernatural. You are God's creation. But you know what's the hope there? That when you feel those moments, you know the Creator is right there next to you, waiting for you to say, God, help me. I'm tired. I can't go no more. Help me with this heavy burden that I feel. Help me with this sadness. Help me with everything I'm feeling right now because I feel that I don't even know how to feel. Because it's times, for me at least, I'm going to speak for me, that I feel that I don't even know how to feel. I don't even know. People ask me, how are you? I'm good. But I answer I'm good with hesitant. When my family asks me, Karen, how you feel? I don't even know how to feel. I'm so tired. I'm exhausted. I'm angry. I feel all the emotions. It's okay to feel that. But I realize that social media wants to perpetrate this perfection. That you shouldn't feel tired. You shouldn't feel emotional. You shouldn't feel sad. Because if somebody looks at you and tells you, oh, you look sad, You look tired. We're gonna go into the mirror and we're gonna say, "Oh my gosh, what do I need to do?" Then that means I gotta have surgery on my face. Oh my God, where did they see that? We start to judge ourselves. And like I said, if those comments would have been made years back, I would have said, "Oh my gosh, what's wrong with me? Why do I look tired? I wonder what they see in me that they look tiredness. I wonder what they see in me that I look sad." But because I transformed that part of me, I'm like, I'm sorry. The sad and tiredness is a negative thing for you. Because for me, it's not. For me, it's showing me that when I feel tired, when I feel sad, that's where God is present. That's where God can heal me. That's where God can give me everything I need. And when I'm happy, God is still there. God is still showing me the way. So it's not about suppressing the feeling of sadness or the feeling of being happy. It's about embracing those things because those things are part of you. That's what makes you who you are because God gave you those things. God did not say, you know what, you're going to be a supernatural human, that you are not going to be able to feel this. Once you encounter me, you're going to be perfect and nothing will happen to you. That's not what God says. And that's why I disagree with certain teachings that I hear on people on podcasts, social media, books, where they said that you always have to search or try to be in a powerful state. And I disagree with that because I'm not God. I'm an imperfect human and I'm a human. In through Christ, I'm able to get some rest, but I can't do it by myself. So I cannot always operate in a powerful state. But I believe that the primal state is there to teach us something. It's not about running away from that, it's about embracing that. It's not about saying, you know what, this is happening to me. Somebody in my family died, a family member passed away, and I'm not going to feel sad because it had to happen. I'm not gonna even cry. I know that that should have been what God wanted. No, don't deny your feelings. Acknowledge what you're going through because you're a human and you need to feel those feelings because when you do that, that's when you're creating actually a barrier, more pain, and later down the road, that pain is going to show up and it's not going to allow you to grow. And whatever situation you want to grow is not going to allow you because you're going to start sabotaging yourself from that belief that you anchor at that moment. So don't suppress your feelings. Acknowledge what you feel. If somebody passed away and you're angry, say it. I'm angry because I felt like I should have not, that should have not happened. I felt that I should have had more time with that person. I felt that it was not fair. Say whatever you need to say, but here is the change, the shift. When you're done, now acknowledge God's purpose and say, not my will, but your will be done. I don't understand it. I'm in pain and I feel like it should not happen. But God, I know you have a bigger purpose for me. Help me to see it. Help me to understand what I cannot understand right now. Help me to keep walking because I know everything that happened, it was a mission, it was a purpose of why this happened. I don't recognize it right now, but I know it's something here. The blessing is here. I don't need to keep searching over there, but it's here. Just open my eyes. Like uh, Paul said, that when he fall out of the horse, when he was killing Christians. And Jesus spoke to him that it was scales in his eyes. He was blind. And when he went to get the healing, the scales out of his eyes fall off and he was able to see. That's how we are. Sometimes we don't understand things, but we have to ask in prayer, God, help me see. Make the scales out of my eyes to fall off so I can see what you're showing me that I don't understand right now. Give me the patience. Give me the motivation. Give me the perseverance to continue to walk in your walk, even when I don't understand it, even when it's uncomfortable, when it's painful. But don't try to make it where, oh, that's not true. That's not happening. Whatever happened in my life, it doesn't hurt. I feel amazing. I feel that this is nothing. No, you're hurting yourself by doing that because your mind knows, your body knows what you're feeling. So you're in contradiction with what you're feeling and what you're saying. You're contradicting yourself. And when you do that, guess what's happening? You send a signal or a message to the creator that you don't even understand yourself. You're in battle with yourself and you're not even asking him to be part of it. So that's when in business we stay stagnant. We don't move. We feel stuck. Why we feel stuck? Because in our own body and our own mind, we're stuck. We don't even know how to feel. We don't even know what we want or what we don't want. I had many moments where I feel exhausted, spiritually and emotionally. And I remember telling God, I'm tired. What is this purpose that you're showing me? I don't feel anything inside anymore. I feel lost. And when he started showing me the new thing, the flow was starting to come. I was again flowing in his purpose. I was not trying to make something happen, but he was doing his perfect result. Let me say this again. When you align with God, everything is starting to come up without resistance. And you take the steps that they felt hard and they look blurry, now they became clear. And he started showing you where you need to step. And the result is inedible. It will show up and you will see and you will be like, how did I do that? What did I did different? But it's not about chasing what you want anymore. It's about walking in God's mission, walking into what He's saying that you need to do. The one He planted in your spirit is the one He's gonna take you to the bigger vision, to the goal that you're looking for. He's the one that is gonna handle your worth, your mission, your purpose. He's in charge of everything. When I started my cleaning business, I was in survival mode. I was starting the business because I needed the money. I needed to prove to my husband that I still was okay. Even though I didn't have a job, but I was still providing for my family. I needed to show him and prove it through hard work. But even when my business grew, I was still trying to put the pieces that I was missing, the peace, the joy. I was still trying to integrate those pieces, but because God was not there, I kept falling. The puzzle kept getting destroyed. It kept getting destroyed. Then God finally show up when I asked for him to show up because God is never gonna like push you and say, you know what? Now I'm gonna show up even if you don't call me. He would never do that. Unless you call for him, he's gonna show up and he's gonna show you something that you have not seen. For me, it was inviting me to see my business and to see how I was serving people. That I was doing it from joy, I was doing it from being enough, or I was showing up from scarcity, from fear, for not being enough. How I was doing my business. In that moment, when I started looking at all the details, everything changed because I stopped hustling. I stopped honoring people through work. And I began to pray more, to have more time with the Creator, the one He entrusted me, the mission, instead of just chasing the next strategy or rushing through life because I needed to do more. So the formula for me, it was rest. Rest more, and you will be in peace. And by being in peace, you will be in prosperity. And I'm not talking about just the prosperity of money, I'm talking about the prosperity of health, because I don't have those things anymore. And I'm so happy about that because I didn't even realize how did I start healing myself. The connection with my children, the enjoyment of my home, even my pets, the connection with my husband, to be able to talk through things that before create chaos, the things that almost took us to the path of divorce. Then now we can talk about those things openly without feeling that I'm destroying him or he's destroying me. But talking about those disagreements or things that we probably don't like about each other in a way of helping the other person grow and not tearing them down. That came with rest. Because before, whatever came, a problem, whether from my children, from my other family members, or from my husband, the answer was from anger. And why it was from anger? Because I was frustrated with the work that I was doing. Because I was always in a fast pace. I was always doing more. So in my mind, now somebody else is bringing me another problem. So now it's more work. So now it's more that I have to sustain. So now I'm lashing out to people. Why? Because I'm tired. Because now I fill up my plate with so much where I'm not able to rest. And now that I'm doing the opposite of that, I feel like I get more done. I'm able to work on my business. I'm able to have better connection with my clients, better connection with employees, better connection with my children, with my husband, with myself, with the creator. And sometimes I ask, how in the world I did all of that? Sometimes it's days that I feel that I have not done anything. That I'm like, honey, today I feel like I didn't do anything. And then he will say something like, really? That's not true because I have everything you did here today. You made a list of everything you wanted to do today, and look, you got it all done. And then I start reading, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I did. I did all of that. And he's like, yeah, you did all of that. And you know why I'm able to accomplish all of that? Because I get out of my own way, of my own way of thinking that I have to do it all, that I have to do it a certain way. And I allow the Creator to show me what's the way. How should I do it? When it's times that I feel tired, that my energy has depleted, I take a rest. I don't look at rest no more as a way of guilt, but a way of, okay, I need the energy. I need the creators to replenish this body to be able to show up fully, to give to people from wholeness and not from a vessel that is empty, because they deserve that. Not just because I deserve that, because other people deserve to be given from wholeness and not from anger. So maybe for you, it's not about your business, it's about your marriage, your finances, your new chapter. What if instead of you controlling everything, you trust God? And the result, it will be in motion. Your job is to stay close to the Creator, to walk with Him without resistance, without trying to control everything and everyone. Because God and His Word says, before they call, I will answer. While they're still speaking, I will hear. And that's in Isaiah 65:24. That means when you align your heart with His purpose, heaven is already responding to your requests. So today, I invite you to pause, take a deep breath, and ask yourself, where am I still resisting God's flow? Where I'm still trying to block Him? Maybe He's been asking you to take a break. He's been asking you to rest. Or maybe He's asking you to forgive. Yes, whether that means forgiving yourself or forgiving someone else. Or maybe He's asking you to trust Him and to start walking into His mission, into His purpose, so you can flourish. Or maybe He's asking you to start something so He can finish. Because when you walk in flow, the results no longer stay stuck or they're being forced. The results just feel uncovered, they unfold. So let this equation, God's purpose plus surrender will plus obedience steps, equals His perfect result. That is the formula. That is the lifestyle. It's the way of becoming empowered, obedience, and your confidence will give you the life and the testimony that God has for you. If this message spoke to you, share it with someone who wants to keep going and don't stop in walking into the divine flow. We'll see you next time. And remember, stay rooted, surrender, and keep walking with the Creator.